My name is Papa Omotayo. I'm an architect and also cultural facilitator. I'm the creative director of MOE Plus Art Architecture and also the founder of a WhiteSpace Creative Arts Foundation. I think I have an interesting story. I'm interested in cross-disciplinary practice, and I think that's really how my career has evolved. So as much as I studied architecture, I left that to study film, did a lot of cultural programming that was focused on public space. So my passion has really been about this intersection between how you bring people together through culture and art, and architecture has kind of been the framework of that. It's been great having this really strong experience with ArtX from the beginning. I've been able to sort of express my two true passions, which is thinking about exhibition design, but also how we've supported ArtX through WhiteSpace in thinking about cultural programming and the early interactive spaces that we created. And that's what's been really exciting, and how we've been able to scale that personally and through our businesses, extending that to support creative institutions in Nigeria, whether that's with Relay Gallery, our current work with MOA, Dada Gallery, and also stuff that we've done with Lagos State, whether that's Falamore Under the Bridge and other small interventions here and there. 10 years later, it's hard to look back and imagine a space where something didn't exist before. And that's how I feel about something like ArtX, that it's sort of not just grown wings, but allowed other people to grow wings. And I think that's what a testament of true success, where ArtX is important, but everything else around it has become equally as important because it's sort of helped galvanize the creative ecosystem. And for me, that is what has been the amazing legacy of ArtX, the fact that it's empowered so much. Also the city, it's made Lagos be about something at a particular point in time, and something that is international, something that is of a quality and a standard that has sort of felt missing in the city. I don't care what anyone says, it has raised the bar, and that has been so exciting to be a part of. I joke about saying that man, the 10th year was the best year. And it means that there's so much more still to do. The scope just continues to be more and more impressive. And I think that's what's so beautiful about ArtX, that it's constantly refining itself, finding ways to sort of translate this aspiration. And man, it's so exciting to be a part of. Whitespace was sort of created as a way to, I guess, find a bridge between my architectural practice and working within culture and supporting the creatives industry. A Whitespace was really about helping people, individuals, organizations think through cultural programming. It's really a space about collaboration. It's really a space about helping facilitate the next generation of ideas, the next generation of institutions. And we do that fundamentally by helping people think through what it is that they want to do, how they want to position something, and ultimately how we can help empower the wider creative ecosystem. Recently, we worked with Mariam Kazim, the writer and curator, in developing Library on the Lagoon. And that was just a new idea of creating an installation on the lagoon that spoke to archiving, education, but also artistic expression. That's really what a Whitespace has always been trying to do. Just think about new ways that we can engage in culture and artistic production. I guess the challenge that we're facing at the moment, and what we've really been trying to do in the last few years, is to see how we can create, I guess, a focus for what we're calling sort of cultural institutions, right? Something that speaks to urban intervention, something that speaks to creating new spaces, something that speaks to bringing creatives into a more centralized ecosystem. So we've really been exploring the neighborhood of Onikon and looking at how our work can help create some regeneration in that area. So, for instance, we've worked with This Is Us in their new store. We're currently working with a number of different creative organizations and bringing them into that area and helping them think through programs in that area. That's really what our passion is right now. The big challenge is it's obviously at a massive scale that is looking at infrastructure, that is looking at the city, that is intersecting with, Lagos State. There's a 6-kilometer McGregor Canal that we're looking at creating a Lagos version of the High Line, turning the canal into like a public uh, space that is driven by arts and culture. So really looking at that whole area and really focusing that over the next few years as as our laboratory. That's really where we're at the moment. That's the dream for the next 5 years, 5 to 10 years for us as an organization. I was saying to someone the other day that I think Lagos is the template for all cities of the future. And I mean that in a serious way. People might find that funny. I think like the challenges that Lagos has, whether it's in terms of the pressure on infrastructure, the population, the fact that the city has to be driven by like individual actors. I think that like the challenges of the city, if they can be solved properly, will really help what is going to happen everywhere in the rest of the world, where you're seeing cities facing similar challenges to infrastructure, whether it's in London, whether it's in New York, whether it's, in the West, or whether you're looking to Mumbai. So I think there are real opportunities in this city. And I think because the city just allows for you to experiment, that allows for you to be like wild and dream. For me, it's just the most important place to be. And plus, I love the place. I'm really excited about being in Nigeria, creating in Nigeria, because I feel like it's just got so much energy. I think like everywhere you look, somebody is trying to think something or reinvent something, or like their second hustle becomes their first hustle. So there is this like inventiveness, this energy, and everybody says, "Oh, Lagos, energy, energy," and even though it's starting to sound like a cliche, it's actually a very real thing. The energy here is hard to describe. And as frustrating as the city can be, it's also immensely inspirational for people wanting to try new things. I think we have to build towards our own self-expression. We have to build towards things that are familiar to us, things that mean something to us. And it's not to say that those things can't be contemporary or those things can't have global appeal, but there has to be something within them that feels they could only have been created by being in this place. So rooting our future in our own lived experiences, for me, has to be central to how we define our future.